Hello, everybody. It's the Pearl of Wisdom Show, and we are back again. Back for the frolic. Lauren, of course, is waiting. Lauren knows what it's all about, right? Lauren knows what it's about. If all the people in the land could be like Lauren, then the world would be a better place. Right, Lauren? That's what I say. Of course, we have the Barkov deal. And Zito, what do you say? Are you kidding me? The guy gave up $2.5 million on that deal. I hear $2.5 million cap space saved on that deal. It would be different. Oh yes, if everybody was like Lauren. Mercer's in the house. Look at that. They're right there. They know where the frolic is, and they're here now. Boom, just like that. Barkov deal. What do you guys figure? I figure that Barkov doesn't care about money all that much, I would say. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you can get Barkov signed up at $10 million a year for 8, you can probably trade Bobrovsky somehow. Yeah. I don't know what they spun into that. I mean, that just basically has to be Barkov going, give me a number that makes sense and we can win a cup, and I don't care about money all that much. That's what that is. I mean, those are the guys you got to go out and find, right? He's elite. He's worth more than $9 million. Yeah, he's 26. He's going to be 34. He's still got a lot of great years. He's a Selke Trophy winner already. I mean, Huberdeau's got to be looking at Barkov going, no, it's way under where he should be at 12. Like, if he went on the open market right now, he'd get 12. Easy. 12 million on the open market right now. If he would have waited and went on unrestricted free agency, easy 12 million. Let me see. Columbus Blue Jackets. Do you think Columbus Blue Jackets might give Barkov 12 million for 8? I do. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Detroit Red Wings? Yep. Stevie Y would pony up 12 million for Barkov all day long. No doubt about it. Easy. McDavid signed that contract 4 years ago. It doesn't, like, that's what people forget. When you're looking at comparables, you don't say, oh, McDavid is getting 12.5. You ask, how much would McDavid get if he signed right now? How much would they get if they signed right now? Yeah, I'm just saying he's signed for well under what his worth is in the league. That's all I'm saying. 10 million is a steal of a deal for Barkov. Absolute steal. Like, what would McDavid get if he signed right now? 15 million maybe? Something like that? Probably. When did McDavid sign that contract? Yeah, that's the thing. Thank God for that for Florida. Like I said, he doesn't care about money. He's not caring about money. Fine, that. I do. I mean, do I respect him for doing that? But I don't know. If I'm Huberdeau, I'm going, really? Now what? I can't sign for 10. Huberdeau can't sign for 10, so he's got to sign for 9. I mean, I don't know. You can make $12 million. That's $16 million for your children's future. $16 million for your children's future to stay in Florida. I mean, yes, he should be praised a lot for what he did. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like they say about Vancouver in Canada, or my buddy says about Vancouver in Canada. When it's not raining and the traffic's not bad, it's a wonderful place. But it's always raining and the traffic's always bad. It's not always raining, but I mean, it has a brutal rainy season. 15.5 to 16 million. Yes, that's right. You got to look at 4 years. Every year, the value of value goes up. He would be 15 million right now. Let's look at, okay, let me take a look at this. Do you think he's going to sign for 12 and a half right now? If McDavid was up for a contract right now, you think he's going to sign for 12 and a half? No chance. McDavid signed that contract when? He signed that in 2000, yeah, 4 years ago. He signed that contract 4 years ago. So, yeah, 4 years ago, 12.5 was, the wealthiest contract in the league. Now it shouldn't be. 4 years later, the way I figure it is your best superstar players should basically run at about 16% of the cap. 16% of the cap right now would put Barkov at $13 million. When McDavid signed that contract, he signed it at under 16% of the cap. So just under 16% of the cap. So even if you go under 16% of the cap, the cap, he's still at 12.5 million. Well, I mean, I think you're crazy. Why would you do that? You got kids, Lauren. You got kids, you got family. You got to remember, we're talking about extended family here. Your mother, your father, brothers, sisters, everything like that. I don't know. I think people just, I don't know. I don't know how people don't see this. Do you think the owner of the franchise is going to, think that way? No. The owner of the franchise didn't think that way to get where he's getting. I'll tell you that right now. You can win cups you can still win cups. I didn't see Tampa Bay's players taking too many discounts besides maybe Point. They took their market value and they won a cup. You got to take care of yourself too, man. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to win a cup." That's it. So I'm going to go I'm going to not give my sister much money because I want to win a cup. I suppose if you can work out something where a great investment group, I think Joe Sakic, what he does is he puts a lot of money into investment companies to try to help players invest their money so they can maximize their dollar value. And I think that's a brilliant idea. I would do something like that. Tampa, okay, I want to win a cup too, but I want to take care of my family as well. You can't have it. You can have it both. You can have both. Okay, let's look at the Lightning players and when they signed the contract. Let's look at that right now. See, Nikita Kucherov signed a $9.5 million year deal 2 years ago. It was 3 years ago. So Kucherov signed $9.5 million, almost the same time as McDavid. He might have, went down about 500 G, something like that. I got to get you guys up on my phone here so I can see in the chat. Okay, I can see you now. Kucherov, maybe a little bit, but not much. Stamkos is making 8.5. He signed that deal like in 2016-17. That was 5 years ago. That was not a team-friendly deal, really. It was about right bang on the market of money of what he was. I would say Point at 9.5, maybe. He's only he's 500, maybe Point, because he signed that last year. He probably gave up a little bit on that. Yeah, that helps. That helps. State taxes do have something to do with it for sure. They can get away with it because of state taxes. Because if they went somewhere else, they wouldn't get as much money. But I wouldn't say that Tampa Bay players really, gave it up huge. I can't see anybody here that gave up like $2.5 million. Victor Hedman's deal right now looks absolutely beautiful. Maybe him. Victor Hedman, when he signed that deal 4 or 5 years ago, might have been given up a little bit. But it's like a little bit for everybody. And I agree. I mean, you can't compare it to what you're going to get on the market completely. Because there's a lot of other aspects that go along with it. But I'm talking about giving up, like what you're saying, sign for $5 million if you're a superstar. You're going to give up $5 million a year for 8 years. That's $40 million. You're just going to throw that away. So, because you want to have money for the team to win cups. Wow, that's not advisable. I certainly wouldn't advise that. Yeah, prior to them winning the cups, they didn't. Those guys might have taken a bit of a discount, but they didn't take a huge discount. Maybe Hedman. Let's see, Hedman. What was Hedman? I can't remember if Hedman had already won in Norris when he signed that contract or not. And how old was he? 2017-18. He's 30 now. He was 25. I'd say Hedman took about $1 million to $1.5 million under. So that's a pretty big one. It's called being a team player. That's called not caring about your family. I'm sorry. I know that I could have, but I know it's called not taking care of your family. You got 3 kids, and an extra $40 million for your kids it's pretty significant. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, I don't even think like good owners don't even want to screw your family over. And I know, can you take care of your family on $40 million less? Could you take care of your family on less? Sure you could, but that's not the point. You can take care of them a lot more with 40 extra million. Lots more. Their family and your family's family. You're building a financially stable environment for your kids, and your kids' kids. Yeah. Sure, you got a job with the organization for life either way. And you got a job with the organization either way. Or you could get hurt the next year and, you know, lose and you could get hurt the next year. You could get injured and you don't even get another contract offer again. I don't know too many players like Luongo has a job for life in Florida. It didn't really matter much to do with the fact that they took less money. It's that they were an integral part of the community. Yeah, still, I mean, you said if you were a superstar, you would take $5 million right now instead of $12 million. So you would take $7 million less. That's, I don't know. Do whatever you want, I guess. I wouldn't, that's for sure. I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Sure, it's a lot of money, but it's okay. Look, yeah, okay. So you're looking at $5 million for 8 years. That's $40 million instead of say 10. So $40 million less, $40 million less. So you take care of your kids. Okay, you got 40 million. You give your kids, you got 3 kids, and somewhere down the road you give them all like 10 million each, I guess. That's not including your parents, not including anything. You got inflation coming up in years, all of those sort of things like that to look at. And you could have had an extra $40 million. You're always going to look at, I think you'd always be looking at it as, I could have had $40 million. I mean, you can invest it and all of those sort of things like that, but those sort of, you know, you have more money to invest, more money for your grandchildren, more money for your grandchildren's grandchildren, so on and so forth like that. I mean, it's not just talking about if you're going to make it to the end of the world, end of this life. You know, if you want to look at it that way, I mean, I don't know. I suppose it was me. Like if I would have got it like 7 or 8 years ago, I would have put it all into Bitcoin, and then they couldn't even ever paid me enough to. It wouldn't have mattered, but I don't know. Throwing 40 million away just doesn't seem logical to me. You know, there's more to it than that too. You have and not only that. Now, okay, let's say you take that $5 million for 40 years, and you're a superstar like McDavid. You're going to be hated in the league. Maybe even on your own team. Like your own team is going to be like, great, thanks a lot, buddy. Now, I know you don't care about money, and you love Carolina, and you want this, but I'd like to take care of my family. Because you got to remember now, if McDavid's making $5 million, how much is the plug on the 4th line eventually going to be making? You know, what guys get up in those? What are they going to be making somewhere down the road? They got him with Jordan Staal and Kotkaniemi now. That's a watch. Wait till Montreal fans see what Kotkaniemi does in a defensive role with a guy like Jordan Staal and Fast. They're putting him on a shutdown line right away, and that's what I would have did too. I mean, I don't know. I don't get how Montreal fans watched Kotkaniemi last year and saw this 20-year-old kid playing as well defensively. They put him on such a pedestal because of when he was drafted. They just thought he was going to be Selke Trophy right away. The kid was freaking fantastic defensively last year for his age. Did I hear about what Montreal did recently? No. What did Montreal do recently? Maybe I did. I just don't remember. But I think that Kotkaniemi line, that's a great line. You can put him anywhere. I think they made a huge mistake. I like Dvorak, but I don't know if Dvorak's going to be much better than he is. But then I don't know why Kotkaniemi wanted to leave Montreal either. So could be for a myriad of reasons. What we were just talking about, the taxes or whatever. What did Montreal do recently? Well, oh, did they? They went to the league to tattletale that they got to play 6. Well, probably what they said was, we don't want to do 6 because, like, if you're an owner, it costs you more money to travel to do 2 more. So they probably didn't really tattletale as much as to say, we want to only do 4 too then. Forget it. If you're going to let other people only do 4, we only do want to do 4 as well. Which brings me back to the original, my original point that there shouldn't be as many preseason games. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense on any level. I would love to hear Gary Bettman sit there and tell me why they have so many freaking preseason games. I'd love to hear the logic behind it. But if I'm Montreal Canadiens, I do the same thing. I don't want to do 6 if I can do 4. Why would I want to travel and do all this crap and nobody's making any money? It's ridiculous. It's a complete waste of money. Go Caps! How you doing? The Prospect Showcase? Okay. Didn't everybody do Prospect Showcase? Go Caps! Yay! Welcome to the live. What did you think about the Florida Panthers signing of Barkov there, Go Caps? I watched... Are you sure? I know we did in Edmonton. We did the showcase. We did it in Philadelphia. They did it in Philadelphia. Where did they not do it? Are you asking if Mantha scores his 100th goal? How many does he have left to get to 100? Yeah, whatever it is, whoever is only getting 4 games, I would be doing the same thing. I want only 4 games. I want 2 games. If I was an owner or going to like the meetings with the league or whatever the case may be, all I would be talking about is I don't care about anything else. cut out preseason games to stop this garbage. That's all I would talk about. If I was an owner, I'd be livid if I had to pay money to travel and all of this for preseason games. I'd be ticked off. Well, I think Montreal is saying, how do we go about doing it ourselves? He only has one more goal to get 100, then I guess, yeah, he'll get it. Are you asking if he's going to get it on the next game? I don't know. I have no idea, but he'll definitely get it, I imagine. Mantha, this is a huge year for Mantha because he's 27 years old now and has been like is constantly inconsistent his whole career. I believe he has more talent than he's ever shown. And I don't know if that's mental or what it is. He'll get 100, but whether it'll be next game or not, I don't know. Is that what you're asking? He only needs one more goal for 100. I would put pretty good money if somebody gave me odds that he will get his 100th goal, yeah. Next game, I have no idea. The first game of the season, I have no idea. That I would not bet money on. So I maybe they were just asking what is the rules about it, because I mean the owner called up Bergevin and saying, hey, what's going on? These guys only doing 4 preseason games. Why can we do that? And he was like, I don't know, I'll ask. And he probably went to Bettman and whoever he had to go and said, can we only do 4? Or, if you're allowed to only do 4, why would you do 6? I have no idea why an organization would choose to do 6. CL, happy Friday is right. It's Friday time. Woo! The more I'm looking at Philadelphia, CL, the more I don't know. I'm just not sure if Philly's going to make the playoffs this year, really. The more I'm looking at it and I'm comparing it, the more I'm really concerned. I'm a little concerned for Atkinson at 32 and his size, how he's going to be, how many minutes can he play now at this stage of his career? Konechny. What is Konechny going to, Konechny's got to rebound big time here. He's got to get back to the old way of playing. And of course, Hart, yeah. I know I'm on the fence. You got New Jersey is going to be nipping at their heels all year. I think that New Jersey team is going to be stronger than people think. And of course, the Rangers. And then Islanders and Carolina, I mean, I am not confident that they're making the playoffs. And the worst part about it is, I think it's very likely that if they miss, they just barely miss. So it's back to that number 13, 14 overall pick or in the draft. Yeah, well, and that's the question. I'm not sure what Risto is going to look like. I mean, they got a long way to go with Risto's got to totally rethink his way of playing the game in like that. Pretty much. Yeah, Philadelphia is really a wait-and-see team. I certainly wouldn't put any money on it. Okay, let's look at some futures then. No. If Bear has a breakout year, does Holland get fired? No. No. Because I think Tippett is putting Draisaitl and McDavid on the top line, I believe. And he's going to play Hyman. The whole thing about Hyman being on with McDavid doesn't look like it's going to happen. Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's the kid. How you doing, buddy? Professor Joe in the house. Pro Joe. Yeah, I don't know if a coaching change is going to do. I was listening to Sirius Radio, though, and I think it was Martin Biron. Yeah, it was Martin Biron was on Sirius Radio, and he said that he thinks AV is really hard on his goaltenders. He plays a system that's tough on his goaltenders, and he's just really hard on his goaltenders. So you might have a point there. You might want to, like I was mentioning that before, you might want to look for a more goaltender-friendly coach. Oh, sweet. Everybody head over to Projo's stuff. He's got a whole bunch of vids coming on. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's the way to go if you can find a fit. The thing is, that could really make the Hyman deal look not too good. That's about the only problem. But if the team does well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, they got Hyman, Nugent Hopkins in the middle, and Kailer Yamamoto with Draisaitl, McDavid, and Puljujärvi. Fogle, Ryan, Cassian got hurt, but apparently he's going to be okay. I don't even like him there. And then Perlini, Shore, and Turris. Everybody's gloating over Perlini because of his preseason stuff. Like, Perlini's always good in the preseason. His problem is the regular season. He runs out of gas so fast. He's hasn't been in the past a very well-conditioned athlete. So I don't know. Maybe he crushed it in the gym this summer, in training this summer, and maybe he'll be better. But going by history, he always fades. Always. Yeah, it was Hyman. So Hyman would be getting the puck out to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins doesn't really need a guy to go get the puck for him too much. And then Yamamoto's a trigger guy. I think I just like a better trigger guy there. But if they can just be good enough, if they can pot like a couple, have good, play good possession, and be able to spell that Draisaitl, McDavid, and Puljujärvi. Puljujärvi looks really good in camp. He came in really solid, really strong. So if Puljujärvi is now reaching that point where he was going to be, all he really has to do is sit in that slot and take his shot, right? With that lineup, stand in front of the net a little bit and stuff like that. That line could be so good that it might not matter whatever Holland did. It might not even matter. It might not matter. The fact that they have defensemen that can't play well defensively, well, you don't have to play all that well defensively if you're never in your own zone. I mean, Draisaitl, McDavid, and Puljujärvi, if Puljujärvi is what I think he is, are not going to play much in their own zone, and they'll play most of the game. Like, you're just basically running on those guys. Yeah, he's always been like that. Perlini's always done well in the preseason, but once the regular season starts, it's yeah, probably. If it was Matthews, Draisaitl, and McDavid, I would not doubt at all he'd get 82 goals in 82 games. Who knows, man? That would be just stupid. That would be stupid. That would be. Hey, Hockey News Reports, how you doing? We're talking about the fact that Edmonton is putting Draisaitl and McDavid. Now that was preseason too. He may that might not be foreshadowing what they're going to do, but it's just the power of that line. It might not matter what else, like the fact that Holland did stupid stuff. It might not even matter. It might not matter that Keith is not good defensively. It might not matter that Cody Ceci is not going to be as good as he was in Pittsburgh. It just all might not matter. It might not matter. They can just outscore the opposition over and over and over again. I mean, so what do you got, Hockey News Reports? What's interesting to you right now? We'll talk about whatever you want. I'm going to put that in a video. It might not matter. What's going on, Euro? What's going on with Montreal, buddy? Doesn't look good, eh? Doesn't look good for Montreal. All right, cool. Doesn't look good for Montreal, does it? Hockey News Reports. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. If I knew how to do that, I would. But I don't know how to play music in the background. Go Caps is back. Okay, cool. So Go Caps, I hate to tell you this, but I'm sure you watched my video so you know. I'm sure you watched our video. So it's not my video, it's our video. I'm sure you watched our video on our predictions, so you know that the community here did not take Washington to make the playoffs this year. Yeah, if I could figure out how to do that, maybe I can. I don't know. If I could figure out how to do that, yeah. But I don't think that wouldn't be the only thing in the video, because I'm writing all this stuff down we're talking about, and then I'm going to do a video on everything we're talking about. So, yeah, I like their offense. I just really don't like their defense. And yes, we disagree on Vanacek. We're going to find out about that. I think Vanacek is pretty average goaltender at best. You seem to think he's much better than that. Maybe you'll be right. You better hope he's right, because that defense is not good. Let's face it. The defense is not very good. Now, the huge factor for that will be Kuznetsov. If Kuzi can come back and play like strong, like he was playing a couple of years ago, then that certainly helps it. But Anything new with Backstrom? No, I haven't heard anything about that either. Is Backstrom's injured, right? I forgot about that. Let's bring up Washington here. Yeah, so you got, okay, we'll go down Washington. You have Ovechkin, of course, probably going to be, 40 goals. Pretty much doesn't matter who he plays with. If Kuznetsov is not good, though, then Tom Wilson, I love Tom Wilson. Love, 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 love. But Anthony Mantha is one of the most inconsistent players in the NHL. Should have been way better than he is. I love his size, but he doesn't use it. I don't know. He doesn't get it. For a guy who doesn't get it, he gets a lot of points, but he doesn't get it. Daniel Sprong had a good year last year. Can he keep that up? And then, of course, you got TJ Oshie. Probably TJ Oshie's got to go up here with Sprong, in Sprong's spot. But, okay, what does it say about Backstrom? Week to week. He's got a hip injury and he's week to week. Which means that, like, I don't know. What does week to week mean? It's not day to day. So every week they're just waiting to see when it gets strong enough, I guess. So who knows how long that could be. Excuse me. But defense, I mean, Dmitry Orlov, John Carlson, like, I love John Carlson. I think his offense more than makes up for his defensive shortcomings. But Kempney, Schultz, Fairhervey, and Jensen as your bottom four? That's, like, you look at the rest of the division, that's got to be the worst defense in that division. Off the top of my head. Am I wrong? Yeah, there's been talks about Oshie to center, but I haven't seen it actually happen as of yet. Yeah, he got knocked down on his head there, the Cassian. Apparently he's okay. He was joking around but he doesn't have a concussion. He's got a bump on his head, though. I don't know how you don't have some sort of, like... He'll probably take the rest of the preseason off at least. Again, what are you doing fighting in preseason? Stop it. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's ridiculous. I didn't see what happened. Was whoever he fought, was he throwing his body around too much or whatever in the preseason or something, and he had to step in? He would be suspended for the rest of the preseason, depending on the situation. But for me, I wouldn't even care if the league suspended him. I'd suspend him. Fighting in preseason, like, what are you doing? Hey, Valentino Habs, welcome, buddy. Thanks for coming in. I saw Valentino Habs put a whole bunch of things in the comment section of my last video. Everybody give him a Perlo dance. Perlo dance and frolic, all Valentino Habs way. Here's some some red and white pearls for you, my friend. Here you go. There you go. Red and white pearls. Those are even like Christmas-like. A little early for Christmas, but I'm sure you can hang those all around your Habs stuff that you've got and everything. Thanks for coming in, buddy. What do you think about the Habs right now? What do you think? We're kind of poo-pooing on the Habs a bit. We don't think they're going to make the playoffs. What do you think, Valentino? Sorry to tell you. I love your spirit, though, buddy. Right on. Yeah, I didn't see what led up to the fight, but knowing Cassian, who knows? Like, it could be Cassian and just some stupid thing. I don't know. Milano's out of shape, dude. Milano is out of shape. The guy just cannot put hockey first in his life. For whatever reason, he just can't. He's got all the talent in the world. Tortorella did everything he could to get that guy focused, but he just doesn't. He's out of shape, man. He's not in game. He's not in the kind of. He never bulked up the way he was supposed to. He hasn't been hitting the gym the way you have to. He doesn't get what it means to be in condition for an 82-game schedule, and probably never will at this point. He probably never will. They've tried over and over and over again. He got traded to Anaheim. He goes out there and he has, like, if he can do something in the first 20 seconds of a shift, then he can do something. He's got lots of skill. But as soon as he gets over that, he's like sucking wind to the bench. You're just not going to be able to do that for an 82-game schedule. That's why he ends up playing on the fourth line, because he can barely handle 10 minutes a night. And even at that, by the halfway through the season, he's just a bag of crap because he's not well conditioned. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the magic of Phil Kessel, to just keep on going. That doesn't seem to bother him. Some people get away with it. 1 in every million are Kessels. Milano's not a Kessel, obviously. To break, well, I mean, anything's possible. Nobody thought it was possible for Gretzky to do what Gretzky did before Gretzky did what Gretzky did. I mean, you got these freaks of nature like McDavid, and if you happen to be right, and from what I saw, I mean, it's possible. Like Bedard has put up numbers that were better than McDavid's. You can't deny that. You know, if he's some sort of freak of nature like a Matthews Shot with playmaking ability of Kane or something like that, I mean, it could happen. Bedard looks like he's got a shot like Matthews. He tings that top corner off the crossbar just like Matthews does from the same spot, like effortlessly. So that could be your 92 goal in a season, guy. I don't know what it's going to take. He's not Gretzky wasn't big either, but some kid's going to come up and he's going to be like doing magic with this stick like you just never saw in your life. Getting like you got to remember when Gretzky was in junior, he was getting 3 points a game on average. So like in 80 games, or I think it was 65 games at the time, he was pulling 180 some points. So there's going to be some kid come up pulling those kind of numbers in junior. But it's hard to imagine it, that's for sure. When you see a guy like McDavid, and he probably won't be able to do it. When you see a guy like him now, yeah, probably built like Mario. Mario, if he never got his injuries, would have given it a good shot, man. I really think so. If he would have played earlier too, if he would have played early like right when Gretzky started, I don't think Mario was that much less better than Gretzky. He was incredible. So yeah, somebody that's built like Mario and can skate like McDavid or something like that. That would be. It just seems so impossible for that human being to actually ever exist. But the way strength and conditioning has been going for the last while, and you know, the more they're just getting, players are just getting stronger and stronger. You just never know. You're starting to get guys like Darnell Nurse that are almost like football players that can skate like the wind. And I mean, Darnell Nurse doesn't have he has the body though. Yeah, like you're starting to get guys like that. He's gonna have like whoever this is probably gonna have like a football player build. Just be able to crush anyone. Like you can't check him off the puck. You can't basically like Byfield, but have the offense of McDavid, like something like that. He's a big boy, yeah. And he could skate for a big guy. Mario could skate for a big guy for sure. He looked so effortless. He had to be the most natural offensive athlete I think I'd ever seen. Especially for hockey. He had to be the most natural hockey player I've ever seen. Lindros could have been if he didn't get hurt. Lindros was the greatest power forward I've ever seen. Before he got the concussions and everything, he was the greatest power forward I'd ever seen. More than O'Reilly. More than Lucic. Who else would there be? The points he would have got now, because you gotta remember he came up in that he spent most of his career in the clutch and grab era too. You just couldn't clutch and grab him. If he played now, holy crap, I don't know what he would have did. He probably would have hurt people a lot. Yeah. Back then you could just grab people. Mario Lemieux too. Remember, you could basically just hang off a guy. I'd take Lindros over. I love Iggy. I love. But no, Lindros over Iggy. I can't think of one player I would like as far as a power forward is concerned that's better than Lindros. Lindros would absolutely destroy. Like when he went into a corner. He was coming out with the puck. It was pretty much like guaranteed if it was man on man. And not only would he go in and get the puck, even after he got the puck, he would hit you too. Like, the guy was a train wreck of a player. Nobody could even touch him, man. Yeah, just because Lindros got injured, but as far as who was the better player, Lindros was the better player by quite a bit, I think. By quite a bit. I mean, Lindros doesn't get anywhere near enough credit for how good of a player he was. It was unfortunate that he got traded for somebody that might have been as good as him or close to it in Forsberg. That was part of the problem. Forsberg was an absolute beast, too. So, who also had the injury problems and all that stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if you'll ever, I mean, you have to have a Lindros guy to have a Legion of Doom, so I don't see it. It would be a different kind of Legion of Doom. If you were, let's put together a Legion of Doom today. Who would that be? The new Legion of Doom today. Who would be the #1 center for a Legion of Doom line today? Wilson? Wilson's a good one. Wilson, you could put Brady and both Kachucks too. Both Kachucks on either side. You could put both Kachucks, but you could put Wilson there too. Who would the centerman be though now? I think the closest would be McKinnon, maybe? Like, you don't have those guys much anymore. That's the thing. Like, a center that can play like that is so rare. Oh, I know a guy that could end up being that, though. Jamie Benn, 3 years ago, yeah. Kirby Doc. I wouldn't doubt if Kirby Doc could be. Watch Doc this year. Doc is going to crush. That's another reason why I like Chicago this year. I think Doc is going to be freaking amazing. But there really isn't that many. Wilson, Byfield, and Radulov. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Renberg wasn't really. That would be, well, depending on what Byfield turns into, yeah. But, like, how about Wilson, Doc, and Radulov? That would be similar. Like, about as similar as you can get, but. I mean, that's why you think about how amazing Lindros was. When you have a whole league of players and you try to find somebody to put in that center spot to have a Legion of Doom line, and there's nothing. Like, there's nobody even close. What nope, Lauren? can't. Not Barzal. Like, who's really a ferocious center in the league anymore? McKinnon, I think, would have to be it. I think McKinnon's about as close as you can get. You wait till you see what Doc does this year, man. Doc is going to be freaking amazing. I'm going to do this for a video too. The new Legion of Doom line. The new Legion of Doom line. I'm going to do this in a video maybe tonight. I say I got to go with McKinnon, but I'll put Doc there too. Wilson for sure. Wilson, McKinnon. Do you agree with me? McKinnon has got that physicality to him. Matthews is big, but does he? I think he doesn't really play as big as McKinnon does. I think McKinnon plays bigger than Matthews out. I'm gonna do a bunch of them though here, and I'll send it out to the Philadelphia Flyers guys and see what they got to say. Wilson, McKinnon, and who? Who else did you guys put in here? Radulov. Wilson, McKinnon, and Radulov. Yeah, Rantanen kind of played like Renberg a little bit too, because Renberg wasn't Wheeler. How about the Tkachuk brothers? Yeah, he's big enough, but I don't think, like, yeah, you know what? Because Renberg wasn't really the bruising guy. He was just big. How about the Tkachuk brothers in between Matthews? Yeah, but Brady and Matthew with Kachuk or with Brady and Matthews with Matthew Brady and Matthew Kachuk with Matthews in the middle. That would be very Legion of Doomish. We were that's funny. I sent, remember who was it that gave the Kachuk to Montreal? I think it was Mercer, wasn't it? And I sent it to the Montreal Canadiens group, and the guy responded, if the Canadiens had a clue how to draft, he'd already be with us. Because they would have took... That was you, right, Mercer? Okay. So they said if the Canadiens had a clue how to draft, they'd already be with us. And I just said, good point. By the way, that video right now is over 1,200 views so far. $1,200 views for that video. I'll probably do another one. I got a couple other ones set up here for Kachuk. And it's spilled over to our other ones too. Yeah, when Getzlaf was younger, I agree. You'd have to put him in that. Getzlaf would be one that would have to be there. Getzlaf with Wilson and Radulov or both of the Kachucks or something like that. When he was in his prime, he's one of the guys you'd have to put there for sure. But like I said, they're few and far between. When you look at the best power forwards of all time, how many of them were centers? Most of them weren't even centers to begin with. Like Lindros was a rare breed. Forsberg was a power forward as a center. But there weren't too many. Like Joe Thornton was big, but I wouldn't call him a power forward. He played... Yeah, but Thornton just never played that way, though. He never played like a power forward, really. Perry, there's a good one. Perry, yes, absolutely. Kopitar was more of a power forward, yeah. But Perry's a very good one, yeah, absolutely. But you look at today. I mean, don't forget about Ovechkin, by the way. Ovechkin was a power forward. He could be your Leclerc. Couture. Stamkos in his prime. I mean, he wasn't the biggest guy in the world. He's not the biggest guy. How big is he? 6'1", 185. Let's see if there's any rumors out here right now. See, it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, right? Uh-oh. Yeah, Ovechkin is a power forward for sure. I put him in the top 5 best power forwards. So you got to, like, if you put Ovechkin, just imagine Ovechkin, Matthews, or something like that. And then Radulov, although they're all shooters, but that would be a beastly line right there. Holy crap. Yeah, he still holds his own physically. But, I mean, in his prime, he was it'd be an incredible goal scoring line. My gosh, they'd have to learn to pass the puck to each other, but that would just be stupid. What do we have for rumors here? Which they not do? I think Matthews maybe is a little bit underrated. His shot is so good, you kind of forget about how good of a... Because any coach is telling him to shoot constantly. What did he get last year? 40, yeah. Yeah, I guess he got like 25 assists. But that's his role, so... Earlier in his career, he had more assists, and I would imagine that Keith, when he came in, just said, just shoot, dude. Just shoot. You got a shot like that, just shoot. If you put a playmaking winger on their side, like Wheeler or something like that, Backstrom, yeah. Best slap shot? Probably. Not too many people use the slap shot anymore, so. That was 100%. Yeah. I think Ovechkin could have been much more physical if like with fighting and all that stuff like that, and probably would have been willing to do so. but his coaches would have told him not to, probably. Well, Teravainen's is such a good passer. They need to get Svechnikov shooting more. That's the issue there. He's just shoot. Sort of like what they do with Matthews. His shot is freaking unreal. So you got Teravainen and Aho. Both of them are kind of pass first guys. You got free up some room for Svech and let him go at her because he's got a killer shot. Not that Aho doesn't have a pretty good shot on his own right. But that makes sense to have them together. All of those guys too, Teravainen is not afraid to get into the corners too. So they're going to give you everything you want. They can go up against any line, that line, pretty much. No, I wouldn't either. Nino's a shoot first guy too. He's a two-way guy for sure. Wow, we got how many days is it till regular season? I just can't wait. I wonder if has anybody been sent down that. Trocheck is definitely a playmaker. Yeah, that's for sure. Four more days. Why couldn't they start it now? Like, this is a long weekend here in Canada. Start it now. You see? Preseason. Garbage. What a waste. They could be having hockey games on during Thanksgiving. But no. We need to play 15 freaking preseason games. And they can't figure out how to. Oh, you got your home opener? Nice. Yeah, the off-season pushed it back. But again, even more reason why you don't have as big of. I just don't. I could go on and on about it. It's just stupid. I just don't think. I see why they have to have so many preseason games. It's ridiculous. Is there more training camp cuts? Oh, by the way, Joseph Coronash was sent down by Arizona. Blame China. No, I don't blame anybody but the fact that the league for having too many preseason games to begin with. That's who I blame. What was I looking up? Oh yeah, Arizona. Who the heck are they going to have as their backup? I just realized that they put down Coronash. Arizona. Depth chart. Karl Vejimelka. Karl Vejimelka is there. I don't know who the heck this guy is. He's from the Czech Republic. He had a 2.71 and a 0.91. Well, I don't know how good his team was. His team might have been poor. He was drafted by Nashville in the 5th round, 2015. 25 years old. He's probably on a 2-way contract. No, actually, yeah, he's on a 2-way contract. So Arizona has a backup I've never heard of before now. They put down Coronash. And so they have Carter Hutton and whatever this guy's name is. Go look it up if you want to take a peek at it. If you want to take a shot at how you say his name. From Czech, not Slovakia, Czech. That was in the was that in the Slovakia league? He had that. They're not gonna they just are tanking better than anybody I've ever seen. This may take tanking to whole new levels, even more than Buffalo when they did. He is a very laid-back person, Lauren, to say the least. Yeah, he's worse than Coronash, I imagine. They're like, this is the biggest tank job ever, even more than when Buffalo was trying to pick up McDavid, I think. Like, put down Coronash and keep this guy. I have no idea who he was. Yeah, he was in the Czech Extra League, and he only put up a 2.79 and a .911 last year. And they made the playoffs. So the team actually had to be not too bad. Like, those are not good numbers in the Czech Extra League to all of a sudden be playing in the NHL. They are going to suck so hard. I was talking to the Arizona crowd there. They think that they're going to be able to outwork people and surprise people. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm all for a hard-working team, and you'll probably get some wins. They'll probably get some wins by outworking the opposition, but there's no way those two goaltenders are going to. .850, maybe. World of Tanks, yeah. This is a huge tank job. I hope it works out for them too, though. At the very least, I hope that they win the lotto next year and pull out Wright, except for Tyler Wright. That's what his name is, right? Shane Wright. Except for the fact that it's Shane Wright. I feel sorry for Shane Wright. Oh my gosh. The good thing about it for him, though, is he'd be able to, he has nobody in his way to be the #1 center on that team. Any positive thing would be a surprise, that's for sure. The only thing the only thing I could see maybe happening is Carter Hutton has absolutely no pressure on him whatsoever. But I mean, I don't see it. I think this is going to be an absolute disaster. I think they'll be outshot. 50. I would be very surprised if they get 50 points. Well, they probably won't. I mean, there's a very reasonable chance they don't get the first, but I would hope for their sake they do. I guess the second pick is a Russian with the really, maybe you know more about him, Lauren. The second pick is a Russian with a really long name, and he's just a beast too. Obviously, he's going to be the second overall pick. Let me find that. Ivan Miroshnichenko. And then Brad Lambert. Brad Lambert, he's pretty slick. And, of course, Matthew Savoy. And then Connor Geekie comes up fifth. 6'4", 205. Big boy. So far, he's got 5. Connor Geekie's got 5 points in 3 games for the Winnipeg Ice right now. So far this year. Wow. For a 6'4" dude. Wow. That's a pretty killer top 5 right there. He can shoot from the point. They play him on the point. I think he was a winger, though, isn't he? He's a left winger, yeah. Pretty big boy, too. Bulldog-type goal scorer, has terrific hands, accurate shot. He uses body to defend defenders. Hungry and hard competitor. That's what you like to hear. Who does that remind you of? Helinka Cup, he had 9 points in 5 games. 15 points in 20 games in the MHL. And then the 5 points in 11 games in the VHL, which is sort of like the AHL here. He's a right shot left winger. Already boasts an NHL caliber shot. The Commander, oh yeah. Solid two-way game with no discernible shortcomings in his toolbox. He projects as a top 2 line pro winger. They got him as a left winger. Yeah, Morgan Geekie, not Morgan Geekie, but that Geekie guy looks pretty killer too. He's already got on a 2-point a game pace in the junior, but I mean that's only 3 games. But yeah, that he sounds like a very Getzlaff type guy. They don't even have him as a center at all in the. They don't even have him as a center at all anywhere I find him. It's all left wing, left wing, left wing. Yeah, pretty. That's a pretty stacked. You got Savoy, Geeky, that Russian guy, Shane Wright. Miroshnichenkov, and Brad Lambert. Brad Lambert is like, wow, that is pretty freaking. And then another guy from Finland called Yaroslav Stefkovsky. A lot of wingers in this draft. Not a lot of defensemen. Like, really not a lot of defensemen. But then I mean, this is early too, so a lot of this is going to change. But yeah, there's a couple D, but they're in the middle round so far. Yeah, 2023 I think is even more of a great draft from what I understand than this one. Michkov and Bedard, like two superstars. You want to get, and Arizona looks like they are primed to be able to get one of those guys for sure. Because if they're the worst in the league, they get at least a top three, a really good chance. It would be just like really bad luck if they didn't get one of those two guys. If they got one of those two guys, anybody really, this would definitely be time to tank the crap out of everything. Just tank, tank, tank. That's why I say if I'm Anaheim right now, like trade Manson, trade Lindholm, they're replaceable. You can find guys for that. Trade Gibson, like trade everybody for the next 2 years. Just suck hard. Compete with Arizona to be the worst in the league. And which is going to be hard to do because Arizona's in a division that's much easier to lose in. But you might get lucky. I would just suck hard for the next 2 years. Like, I don't know what Anaheim's doing. Why would you even want to look like you have a roster for the next 2 years? Oh, for Arizona, yeah, that goaltending's absolutely. They're doing it upright. If you're going to tank, Carter Hutton and whoever that guy is probably a really good way to do it. Right to suck, yeah. Suck hard for Bedard, yeah. Same as well, that's what I was saying about Calgary too. I would have did it for Calgary. Matthew Tkachuk doesn't want to sign. I mean, I would like to keep Matthew Tkachuk. That would be it. And then Goudreau, but they went and get freaking, they don't know what they're doing. They're going to get Markstrom. What did they need Markstrom for? It was just stupid. Just absolutely stupid. They have no. I wouldn't have got Markstrom. I just see the core's not working. Trade everybody and suck for 2 years and hope you can get one of these guys, man. This is a good question. Where are these guys from? Like Shane Wright is from Ontario, right? How come they don't tell you where he was born here? He plays for the OHL, so he's got to be somewhere in the OHL. Brad Lambert's from Finland, so don't think it would much matter to him. And Savoy is from Winnipeg. Savoy isn't... Oh, Savoy's only 5'9". He's above average hockey sense and skill and ability to make things happen. He plays in a hard, edgy, and agitating game that keeps opponents off balance. Yeah, if I was Calgary, that's what Calgary should have been doing. Any team that, and I think that's what Steve Yzerman is, where his target is too. He was going to be bad until those 2 years were over, and then he'll start getting free agents after that. If he can get Wright or Bedard or Michkov or something like that, then they can start adding free agents after that. You got somebody that good. You got a superstar number one center like that, like they can make up for a lot. Just like we were talking about Edmonton. They got two set Draisaitl and McDavid, and they grabbed a couple guys, probably made some mistakes on their defense, but it probably doesn't matter. I would have did the same if I was Seattle too, to tell you the honest truth. And maybe even Ottawa. Yeah, I know he does, but I mean, they've got that kid Raymond that looks like he's going to make the roster this year. They got Sider, Larkin, Rasmussen. Zadina is really taking his time, but he's still good. They really just need like a knock it out of the park number one. Like if they get Shane Wright, and then or any one of these guys really, and then next draft and get another scorer, and then just draft and then just get free agents for fill out your defense with free agents. No, I knew Robertson wasn't going to start with the Leafs. I don't know what the love affair with that guy is. The Toronto, nobody overvalues their players more than the Toronto Maple Leafs fans, man. It's, Robertson's going to be a second line winger. I'm like, where are you seeing this? Yeah, he's got skill, but you can blow him over, like just go, and he falls over. He's a perimeter guy who he can't get into the spots you need to score. I don't they don't. But Matthews and Marner are bums because they didn't yet become ferocious in the playoffs. I don't know. For an organization that should have very knowledgeable fans, it actually doesn't, really. I find Philadelphia Flyers fans more knowledgeable. I think they are related. I'm not sure, though. I have never looked it up. Very sophisticated. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it sophisticated for sure. Minnesota fans are very knowledgeable. Minnesota Wild fans are very knowledgeable, I find. Edmonton Oilers fans, for the most part, are. You get, like anything though, there's like sometimes you're just a fan of your own team and that's it. But yeah, sophisticated is not how I would describe the Philadelphia Flyers fans, no. Or anything to do with Philadelphia. No, not exactly the way I would. Same as the Edmonton too. I live in Edmonton. The word sophisticated probably wouldn't have been in the top 30 or 40 words I would use to describe Edmonton. Buffalo fans are very knowledgeable. Buffalo Sabres fans are very knowledgeable about all sports, actually. Crazy knowledgeable fans. New York Rangers fans, very knowledgeable fans. You sell yourself short, Lauren. You know quite a bit about other teams. Compared to, like, say, your average Toronto fan. Yeah. You probably know more. Let's put it this way. Lauren, you know more about other teams than average Toronto fans know about their own team. So, they're great people, though. Very nice people, but a lot of... And there are like really good Toronto fans that know a lot about the league and stuff like that. But I was really surprised when I got into this. I thought Leafs fans would have been much more knowing of all, like knowledgeable about all the. Maybe they are just as good as anyone else. I just put them on a higher plane because they're the center of the universe, right? So I thought there would be a lot of fans that knew about a lot of other stuff about other teams. And were really able to, I thought there'd be a lot of fans that were really able to judge talent of their own team, but honestly, no, not on average. Like if you look on average compared to, oh, really? Is it Patriots fans like that too? That makes sense, I guess. Calgary fans, same thing. Winnipeg fans are great. Excellent. Ottawa fans, very knowledgeable. Crazy knowledgeable fans. Ottawa fans are crazy knowledgeable fans. They know a lot about the league and where, like, very, very much so. Although they're undervaluing, they're undervaluing Brady Tkachuk. But that's common when you want to get a player signed. All of a sudden, he's not as good as you think he is. They bring up the fact that he only had 40-some points and all that kind of stuff like that. Now, you can talk about the rest of the league with Ottawa Senators fans for the most part, and they're pretty good about it. They also are a pretty good judge of their own talent, their own players and stuff like that. For sure. But, yeah, New York Islanders fans as well. New York Islanders, New York Rangers, all of that area. You guys, like, I don't know, Pittsburgh fans don't talk much. Why is that? Philadelphia Flyers fans will yap. They'll talk forever. But Pittsburgh Penguins fans, what is that? Are they snobs or something? Canucks, what, like not knowledgeable or knowledgeable? What do you figure, Lauren? with Canucks fans. Don't get me started. They don't say much. Pittsburgh Penguins fans. I think they're just spoiled. Knowledgeable, yeah, they're pretty knowledgeable. What Vancouver fans what's good about Vancouver fans is they don't like they're not the type of fans that just like root for their team no matter what, and just they will ridicule their own team big time, big time. Well, Vancouver's like that too. Vancouver will abandon ship on them, on their team too. Uh, I do know somebody who's a Seattle Kraken fan. Well, first of all, Lauren's second team is going to be Seattle, apparently. But Ricketts Picks, who comes in here all the time, by the way, go check him out. Ricketts Picks. John, his name, I think his name is John as well. He is he's from Seattle. He's a Kraken fan, but he says himself he's not like very knowledgeable in hockey. He just started watching hockey a couple years ago because his son's a goaltender now, and uh, It's funny, Calgary Flames fans, they tend to overvalue their players quite a bit. Blackhawks fans, yeah. There's another good one. Chicago Blackhawks fans, they know their hockey. Big time. Detroit Red Wing fans know their hockey. Chicago Blackhawks fans, like these American team fans, besides, I would say Chicago, Detroit, New York, both New York Islanders and New York Rangers, they're more knowledgeable than Calgary, Toronto, and this is supposed to be our sport, but of course there's a greater population too, so. Holy man, is it? My wife has decided to use the oven, I think. Hot. Oh, the old owner? Who was, that's, isn't that, what was the old Chicago Blackhawks owner? Oh, the Wirtzes? The Wirtzes still own the Chicago Blackhawks, though, don't they? Or before the Wirtz? Oh, so Bill Wirtz. He was a jerk? But I think Rocky Wirtz now, yeah, his son does it now. Well, there's a picture. Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah, I remember Chicago. He did do that. They got a picture of Bill Wirtz, and he's got like this big frown on his face. Can you see that? Or do you want me to bring it up? Like blackout games, yeah, they did. He did. I remember that now that you mention it. See if I can find that picture again. I know Bobby Hall hated Bill Wirtz. I can't get the picture up here. I get it on my phone, but I can't get it here for some reason. You saw it? Yeah. But Bobby Hall, Hall hated Bill Wirtz. I know that. So there's probably a reason for that. But yeah, I remember that. He used to say that, yeah, he used to block home games and force them to pay for it. Says if you want it so bad, then you got to pay for it or something like that. I guess there was a 1999, the Illinois State Legislature passed a Wine and Spirits Fair Dealing Act called the Wirtz Law. The bill was passed after more than $700,000 was contributed to politicians by liquor distributors, according to the Illinois campaign. The law was on the books for less than 3 years. They said that it violated Commerce Clause of the Constitution. And newspaper editorials at the time called the Wirtz Law a corrupt document. Bill Wirtz was close friends with Alan Eagleson and was convicted of fraud and embezzlement. The two colluded to get Bobby Orr traded from Boston to Chicago. Oh, yeah, I guess he was kind of a dickwad, right? Yeah, he sounds like he was pretty much a jerk, that's for sure. I never paid much attention to all of this. I did hear about it, but I never really paid attention to it at the time. But yeah, he sounds like, and his son obviously isn't a bad dude, I guess, because they don't mind him. Isn't it Rocky Wirtz or something like that? And then you got the Bowmans there now, who are like the elite of hockey. That's crazy. But Chicago Blackhawks fans are extremely, they're great. On all honesty, though, I think the worst fans, and not because I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan, really, seriously, it's not, that I've come in contact with were the Pittsburgh Penguins fans. They were clueless, absolutely clueless. Yeah. Now they're, they're probably going to be a playoff team this year, or possibly, or close, but they're competitive every year with Bill Wirtz there. Habs fans can be annoying, yes. There's a good one. Pittsburgh and Montreal. Knowledgeable, yes. Knowledgeable, yes. But annoying, absolutely. No doubt about it. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Talk about that. Talk about great fans. Boston Bruins fans are great. No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, you can get into some arguments with Boston Bruins fans for sure, but they know their stuff. But Montreal Canadiens fans do know the league pretty well. I wouldn't say they're up there with Chicago and all those guys like that, but they can be super annoying. No matter what you say to them, they just keep on bringing up the fact that they won the most cups and all that kind of stuff like that. And just, But Pittsburgh fans, I don't even know how to explain them. I just don't think they ever really took the time to know. Like, they just watched the game. They've been so fortunate, I guess, that they had all these superstars that they live in the past. Oh yeah, Montreal Canadiens fans. That means nothing, Bill. You'll always get the same to me. Like, I care little that Allmark didn't look good in a, like, for me, not care little. I don't put much stock into Allmark not looking good in a preseason game. Doesn't mean much to me. He's probably working on something or whatever. I mean, in preseason, goaltenders are trying new things out and stuff. So, doesn't mean much of anything to me. They're just, Allmark is just getting used to Boston's defense, and he's not even getting, I wouldn't even play Allmark in a preseason game, to tell you the honest truth. If I had a new goaltender, I wouldn't play them in a preseason game. I'd play them in scrimmages and all that, but because in a preseason game, you're getting a poor read on your team. Oh yeah, Philadelphia Flyers fans can be obnoxious, but Pittsburgh Penguins fans are not obnoxious. They're just sort of meh. Like, they don't really engage or anything. I don't think they're like huge hockey fans. I think they're Steelers fans, and then, kind of hockey fans. Well, the regular season starts this week, and that is freaking awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, Lightning fans don't know all that much, but that's not to be expected, really. Florida fans pretty much as well. They're just getting a read on the games. They're raw. Right now, Tampa Bay fans and stuff are just raw fans. I'll tell you the guys that are going to be very knowledgeable fans is the Vegas Golden Knights fans. You could tell already. If you want the guys that really love hockey already, that are taking to it really quick, Vegas Golden Knights. Nashville fans are great fans, but not very knowledgeable fans. They are the epitome of out to have fun, go see a game, root for my team, and then leave. Like, they don't even care about the rest of the league. But they're fun. Like, if you talk to them, they're a lot of fun. But if you bring up stuff about some other team, they're the epitome of their own team, and not even really knowing about their own team. They just want to go to the game and have fun. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they just to give him some. More than likely he was working on something with the coaches with the goaltender coaches that they have there. So they wanted to give him some game action to work on that aspect of his game and stuff like that. And that's what he was more interested in rather than actually stopping pucks. They're just working with his style and trying to maximize his style probably. So if he let a bunch of goals in, it just doesn't really matter. Nashville, yeah, their team can be 3 to 4 goals. Yeah, that's so true, dude. I actually, because of Nashville fans, I want to go to Nashville. They seem like the happiest people in the freaking world, man. They love their players, but yeah, they're just passionate about whatever. They're the epitome of rooting for your team. Like no matter what, they just want to go out, have fun, have a couple beers, do some waves and do the wave and all that kind of stuff like that. And hopefully their team wins, but if they don't, oh, we love you anyways, and off you go. Yeah, like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually pretty cool. Avalanche fans, yeah. You know what? There's another one. I know very little about Avalanche fans because they talk very little. They don't say anything. I've tried to post on their things. I know one thing. I got blocked from one of them for posting my stuff. So I don't really get much feedback from Avs fans at all. Yeah. Nashville fans are definitely the ideal cheer for your team no matter what. No doubt about it. Not like Vegas fans. Vegas fans they are pissed this year. They're pissed about Fleury leaving. They're pissed that they didn't get centers like they thought they needed. Everything. Jack Eichel will be going to the Rangers. I got blocked by a Habs site too. There's this the elitist Habs fans are brutal, awful. They're terrible. You can't say anything bad about Montreal. They just, oh, shoo, shoo, shoo. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 whatever. They just live in their own little bubble. And the Montreal Canadiens are the best team on the planet. And everything they do is right. And you don't know what you're talking about. And they're going to win the cup every year. And they hold on to... And if you do actually end up bringing up a point that shows otherwise... we would just keep on telling you about how many cups they have and blah, blah, blah. Those guys are annoying, but they're not the majority of Habs fans. They're just like this elitist bubble group that you just let them live on their own little planet. They're horrible. Bruins fans are great. I love Bruins fans. Bruins fans are, no matter what you say, even if you like who you root for, Bruins fans are nice, knowledgeable. The Bruins fans are fantastic, no doubt about it. Yeah, I've never had a problem with Bruins fans. They let me post whatever I want on there. They'll talk like crazy about it. They bring up really good points and they're very respectful but very passionate. Like Bruins fans are absolutely fantastic. I think I'm an Oilers fan, and I'll tell you, Oilers fans are annoying. Oilers fans are like, Bruins fans are rational about their team. Oilers fans, there's like two different sides. Half of them are just absolutely clueless. Oilers can't do wrong. Why don't you just shut up and root for your team, guys? And the other half are rational and they're great. Like you can talk to them and say, you know, I have issues and stuff like that. But it's like 50-50. 50% of Oilers fans are just are terrible. There are fans like that, yeah. Hey, Go Caps, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, there are Montreal Canadiens fans like that, but a lot of Montreal Canadian fans are very knowledgeable, and they do see all sides of their team, and they realize that, you know, and they know the league really, really well. Welcome back, Go Caps. I mentioned Minnesota, right? Minnesota's got pretty good fans. Dallas Stars, I never hear anything about them. They got all the fans in the world, but they never talk to you, ever. Who am I missing here? Columbus Blue Jackets fans don't say all that much. San Jose Sharks fans are very knowledgeable. And down to earth. The thing about San Jose Sharks fans, though, is you have to. They can be defensive right off the get-go, because they assume that you assume that they don't know what they're talking about because they're in San Jose. I hope that, well, I mean, yeah, I hope that I think they're going to be good for a very long time. They got Zito. That was a brilliant move. And once they start warming up to hockey there, I think they're going to be good. The league needs those guys to get really good, knowledgeable fans to expand, to become better for sure. Tampa Bay was fortunate that, you know, they owe a lot to Tortorella there. Tortorella brought a team to the Cup that probably should never have been there. And then then bringing in Stevie Y, like talk about smart ownership, bringing in Stevie Y, and of course the general manager that they have right now is really great too. They've set themselves up for a long time. They were really good at marketing there. Like Le Cavalier was marketed so well. Let's take another look if we got any news yet. Oh, New Jersey Devils signed Frederick Gauthier. New Jersey Devils released Mark Jankowski. Mark Jankowski, drafted by the Calgary Flames, looked like he was going to be good. What happened to this kid? I remember Calgary Flames drafted him out of high school, and he was totally off the board. And what happened was the owner at the time actually went and saw Jankowski play and said, this kid's going to be the best kid in the draft. But and he said he wanted them. He basically made the pick, the owner of the Flames. But he went to a bloody he went to a high school game and saw this really tall, lanky kid beat up high school kids and thought, like, that doesn't mean anything. Anyways, they took him high, but he at least did play in the NHL. But now he got released from his PTO. It's just been downhill for him for the last couple of years. He was in Pittsburgh last year. Now he can't even make the New Jersey squad's tryout. And Frederic Gauthier signed a 1 year. He didn't even get a two-way contract. But Frederic Gauthier gets a two-way, which is a big guy that they need there. He'll probably play some... Gauthier will probably play for New Jersey for at least, 20 games or something like that. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong Gauthier. I was thinking the one from the Rangers. Okay, that was the one in Toronto, yeah. Yeah, he might not play at all. He can't skate worth the darn. But at least he got a two-way. Jankowski didn't even get a two-way. Lucas Dostal goes down from Anaheim. Stephen Fogarty, which is they always do that. Troy Groshenik goes down for Boston. Nothing surprising, really. Julien Gauthier, that's who it is. Where is he now, Julien Gauthier? He's bounced around the league. He went with the Rangers. Yeah, he was with Carolina. He was drafted by Carolina in the second round. Is he still with the Rangers? Yeah, he was drafted by Carolina in the second round there a while back. He had a really good shot, but he needed to improve his skating and never improved enough. In order for him to be a legitimate even bottom, even in the even a fourth liner. He just can't skate fast enough. Can't keep up. That's a problem. His skating never really improved, so. Oh yeah, I already looked at that. I wanted to look at what are their defensive pairings for Edmonton. They still got Nurse and Barry playing on the same. Kukuk and Bouchard. Bouchard's getting bottom pair. Duncan Keith and Cody Ceci. My gosh. Just pure offense. That's it. Just Nurse and Barry, Keith, Cece, Kukuk, and Bashar. That, I don't know. I just can't see. They better score the crap out of it. No, his puck handling was certainly an issue. He had a killer shot, though. Keith and Cece, interesting combo. Scary combo, man. John Weichel just came in the... Welcome. Alex Martinez got hurt? Uh-oh. I was just talking with a buddy of mine. I'm the more I think about it, the more I think Vegas could take a downturn this year. Especially with Martinez out. My gosh, that would be terrible for them. They had Patrick on the #1 line, but that was preseason. Well, now they got it back where he's third line. Janmark, Patrick, and Dodonov. Carrier, Waugh, and Keegan Colasar. That's a good fourth line. Oh, but they're hurt. Nicholas Waugh is unknown. Brett Howden is already a scratch. Oh, he's hurt, too. Brett Howden. Day to day, though. It doesn't say he's hurt on Cap Friendly. I don't know. I still think you got to go with the Islanders there. Best fourth line in the league. I still think you have to go with the Islanders there. But that Vegas fourth line is pretty darn good if they're healthy. Carrier, Waugh, and Colasar. That's a pretty darn good fourth line. What's Tampa's now? Bellemare, Alec, not bad. Do you think the Lightning? Bellemare, Maroon, and Barboulay? Arizona's every line is a fourth line. Every line is a fourth line for Arizona. Oh yeah, but their actual fourth line for sure. Roussel, Beagle, and Erickson. If Erickson's on any line, it's got to be the worst line in the league. Arizona's is hilarious. Everything is hilarious about Arizona. Everything is hilarious about that lineup. It's crazy. Keller, Schmaltz, and Kessel. Lawson, Krause, Barrett Hayton, and Christian Fisher. That's a fourth line. Dzingel, Larson, and Dmitry Yaskin. Like, What are their best fourth lines in the league? Oh, Seattle's got a darn good one this year. Tanev, Sheahan, and Appleton. I wouldn't even put Appleton on the fourth line, but Tanev, Sheahan, and Appleton's a pretty darn good fourth line. Keller's line would be a decent third line. Well, except that they can't play third line like the way you're supposed to play a third line. I think it'd be a second line. Maybe a second line. Well, hello, boys and girls. What did you think about Seattle's fourth line? Tanev, Sheahan, and Appleton. The retros, yeah. I don't know the best jersey in the league. Maybe Seattle's, but that's probably because they're new. I still say the Blackhawks are pretty cool. You like drafted fourth line? Seattle's fourth line is really good, yeah. You like Seattle's fourth line? Yeah, I know. Seattle would be up there with the best fourth lines in the league, I would think. Tanev, Sheahan, and Appleton's pretty darn good. It looks like Alex Belzile is going to actually make the Montreal Canadiens roster at 30 years old. He played 2 games last year. He's never had more than 54 points in, oh no, he had, the ECHL. It looks like he's going to make it this year. And that line is Lekin and Belzile. Oh, Jesse Lannon, I don't think he's going to make that. There's somebody missing here. Oh, Mathieu Perreault. Or the city's not, no. And they got a conservative general manager, too. Winnipeg Jets used to have a good fourth line. They had one of the best fourth lines in the league, but now I got to see them. Harkins, Nash, and Toninato? Not really. Cole Perfetti doesn't look like he's going to make it again this year. Dallas Stars, Blake Comeau's getting up there, but Como, Glendenning, and Raffle. That's a pretty solid fourth line. Como, Glendenning, and Raffle. Glendenning's great at the dot. Can play both ways really well. Como is like your classic fourth liner now at his age. Crazy speed, hits in the corners. And then Raffle, he never stops fighting. Raffle. That's a pretty good fourth line. Toronto Maple Leafs fourth line. Bunting, well, I don't know why they still got Bunting there. Are you serious? They're going to put Bunting on the fourth line? What you doing, huh? Did you have a nap? Oh, okay. All right, Bunting, Engvall, and Spezza. Nah, not great. And I wanted to look because even their depth is terrible. That's not a good fourth line at all. The Bruins got to have a really good fourth line this year. Killer fourth line. I think they might even take the cake this year. Yeah, but I just don't think he's got to play him in the top 6. I think it would be better. You're wasting him down there in the fourth. I don't really get why you'd want to play him. I guess so he can burn some of the slower players if he's playing against the other team's fourth line. But, I mean, if he gets pegged by some of those guys, I don't know. I'd rather play him in the top 6 and, don't play him on the power play or penalty kill. Just play him on 5-on-5 for 10 to 12 minutes a night. I don't know why you would want to play him on the fourth line. You got to be able to find somebody better than to do that. But my inkling is Boston's fourth line's got to be up there with the top in the league this year. Trent, Frederic, Nosek, and Wagner. I like Frederic. Nosek did real. I was surprised that Vegas let him go. I guess they needed him to, he's getting 1.7, so they couldn't fit him. I really like Nosek. Not much offense from that group, though. That's really a beat you down type line. Yeah, I mean, he would be good to get some offense off your fourth line, I suppose. But Bunting is the kind of guy that sort of needs somebody to work with them, you know? Like, playing with fourth line plugs. Like, Spezza, though, yeah, it's an offensive fourth line. Yeah, I see what you mean. Spezza can create pretty good still at his age. If you don't play him too many minutes. Put up some good points last year, so... Maybe you got a point there, Kyle, for sure. Maybe it would work out pretty good. Because you can't play Bunting tons of minutes. So maybe it will work out all right. What about the Avalanche? They got to have a pretty good fourth line, right? Well, they got. I was telling you about that Sampo Ranta. It looks like he's going to make it this year. which will push JT Compher to the 4th line with Maltsev, who I liked last year, and that's not a bad 4th line there. Sampo picks up the 3rd line spot with Newhook and Jost. Justin Barron is still on the team. I can't see him making the team, though. Who's he replacing right now? Oh, Devon Tays. But he'll be back. Yeah, I think I'm going to head out too, actually. Getting kind of hungry. Who's here? Well, it depends on who's sticking around. Yeah, I'm going to head out too. Thanks for coming in, guys. I'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. That's my full 42. I'll try to get a video out this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to cruise. I'll let you go. See y'all. Okay, bye.